and gentlemen, Arison. Tony nominated and my assistant here. So just real quick about Arian. We've known each other 20 years. As he said, I wasn't expecting something. We've known each other in waiting rooms. We played best friends in Queens Boulevard. We killed each other in Hamlet. And we've seen each other's everything. We've gone to all of each other's plays. But I have had a front row seat to his insightful heart. You know, we pick who we seek counsel with very personally and deeply, and that is one of the few people in this world that I seek his counsel when I'm struggling with something. Thank you, one of my dearest friends. All right, so first off, I know there's a lot of people got to go. My mom told me, Amir, you say nice things, but you can talk too much. So. Okay, so it's tech. I'm walking down 44th Street from the A's, and I'm heading towards the river. I'm just like, okay, that's tech. I realize I'm walking by the Producers Club, and who knows what the Producers Club is? Some people. For those who don't, yeah, some of us have been there, you know. So it's an off, way off, like not even off the map, Broadway venue. It's commercial space and theater space, and that's where I did my first scene night after I graduated. I was 22 years old. And I remember, you know, leaving that and walking the other direction, 44th, and walking by Broadway theaters and be like, how does one even get here? No clue. So if I could talk to that 22-year-old self right now, and I was 44 when I did Kite Runner, I'm 45 now. I just told my age to a room of industry professionals. So I would say to my 22-year-old self, I would say, it's going to take you 22 more years. It's going to take you your lifetime, so don't bother, it's too freaking hard. I would say, enjoy every second of this journey, and you are not going to believe where you're standing on this day. Now, so I'm going to go here, 2 people to thank. I'm going to try to go fast. I'm going to try, Mom. So, you know, my lovely manager, my longtime manager, Lillian LaSalle, who's sitting right there, sent me the audition for the Kite Runner. And I was like, I don't want to do any plays, that was too much, you know. And the last play I did was with Aria and Hamlet, and I literally had a nervous breakdown. Of course, he helped me through it. And I was like, I can't do it. It's just, it ravages the spirit. And she's like, well, the character's name is Amir, and I think you should go in. And I was like, send me this thing. And I'm certainly glad she did. Thank you, Lillian. Now, this is debut honor. And I was in a company of 16. We were actors we were 19 actors, and 16 of us were making their Broadway debut. Woo! One of the great things, right? Yes. One of the great things about playing Amir is I got to act with every single one of them, including all the understudies. I got to work with every single one of them and watch a Broadway debut from every single. We all know theater is a team sport, so I stand here representing all 16 of us. Lifelong friends. Look up the cast. I just talked to Eric Srafkin yesterday and Fran the other day. They are also special. Now, we weren't the only ones making our Broadway debut. It was the creative team's Broadway debut, led by Giles Croft, our director from across the pond. We love the Brits. And his entire creative team, his indispensable associate director, Damian Sandys, the entire Barney. I'll buy you a beer later. Okay. And everyone, his producer, Martin Dodd, Jonathan, Kitty, and it starts with love. And Giles led with care, and he was calm. To set a room that was so much going on, he was calm and loving and open and buoyed me up the entire time, and I wouldn't be here without him. Now, it is also thanks to our American producers. We love the Americans. Led by our lead producers, Victoria Lang, Ryan Bogner, Tracy McFarland, Jane Barron Sherman. They're all over there. They are a delight to work for and work with. They were with us every step of the way. Thank you. And of course, our executive producer, who I call the first lady of the theater, and maybe the loveliest person you'll ever meet, Daryl Roth. Real quick, also, just a shout out to stage management, the unsung heroes of the theater. James Ladis was involved in every single aspect and moment of my experience in the Kite Runner, and I feel like I'm sharing these with you. I'm finishing. I gotta go, there's a lot of people. Okay, so it was also the Broadway debut of our writers. The book was adapted by Matthew Spangler, who was over here, who flew in just for this. That man has been working on this play since 2008, and he is still curious about every beat and every actor that goes into each role and their experience, and he's not precious about the material at all. He wants to make it just right, holding on to the story and in each actor's artistry. He's a first-rate gentleman in the theater. If you want to adapt the book for the stage, you'll find him. He's there, Matthew Spangler, right there, little plug. He also adapted the book, The Kite Runner, one of the great books of the 20th century, in my opinion, by Mr. Khaled Hosseini, one of the great minds. That book has been banned in a lot of countries around the world. There's many languages it's been translated into. And it's one of the books that's being banned in our country by many schools and many school districts. And I think it should be required reading. This book takes place, right? This book encompasses an entire Afghan experience, both in Afghanistan as well as the Afghan immigrant experience to America. I have to give a special thanks to Humaira Gilzai, our Afghan cultural consultant, as well as cast members Salar Nader and Azita Ghalizada for their open hearts and trust and detail in entrusting myself and our entire company, our beautiful company of Middle Eastern, South Asian, Central Asian, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, agnostic artists, immigrants, first-generation immigrants, in telling the story of the beautiful people of Afghanistan. Now, last story, I promise. This is quick. Okay, we're deep in the run. It's a 2-show day, and I'm toast. It was a 5-show weekend. The show was about 2.5 hours, so I've been on stage close to 5 hours, and I'm like sort of walking off the stage and drenched in sweat, and tears, and snot, and my ankle is twisted, my knee is banged, my shoulder is jacked, and the glamorous life of Broadway, climbing up 5 flights of stairs at the Hays to get to our dressing room. So close. And I get there and I just collapse in my seat and I have no energy to even take off my shoes. And somebody goes, "Amir, what's wrong?" And I look up and I'm like, my soul is tired. And Salar says to me, "That is how every Afghan feels every day." And I was instantly thrust with the energy of privilege and gratitude and responsibility of telling the great story of the Kite Runner. That book is divine. Living inside that story was a spiritual experience for me, and getting to tell that story every night on Broadway was one of the great honors of my lifetime. Thank you, Theater Board.